Are you gonna be famous? What's this? Can you lay down?
So, let's get into supplements. What are they? What are they good for? What supplements should you take? And what supplements do I take? But first, let's pull up a seat. Let's get into what supplements are and what supplements are not. Supplements are a great way for you to add to your overall healthy habits, diet, nutrition, what have you, and find a way that you can more easily hit your goals, your targets for your macros. So if you want to consume 200 grams of protein, for example, you are tired of eating all day and you find that you are maybe 20 to 30 grams short or something like this, you can add a protein shake. It doesn't have to be powdered either. You can also use the Fairlife drinks. I love those things. Or just like stack yogurts if that's something that you can stomach. Like if you're, not dairy free and all that stuff. But it's kind of like your seatbelt in your car and your airbag. Your airbag is a supplemental restraint system, and your seatbelt is the primary restraint system, meaning that if you get in a collision, your seatbelt's going to do most of the work in keeping you in your seat, keeping you from flying out of the vehicle. But the seatbelt's job is incomplete without the airbag in this example, and the airbag is actually going to keep you from hitting your face on the steering wheel, whereas the seatbelt might not do that on its own. Does that make any sense? Oh. What supplements are not is a cheat code. So you're not gonna become insanely, unhumanly strong or superhero strong or whatever you want to call it by taking supplements like creatine or like protein powder, and they're not going to damage your body in any way. They're not going to hurt your kidneys or your liver in any way, especially if you are like not consuming alcohol or overdoing it with fatty foods and fast food and that kind of thing. So supplements are totally safe to take. Now, I will say that some pre-workouts have some questionable ingredients in them, but you want to look for pre-workout supplements that have labels on them like NSF or banned substance test or third-party tested, those kinds of things, to make sure that you don't consume something that is gonna fail you on a drug test or potentially cause you some kind of harm either to your heart or your blood, your cardiovascular system overall. So, sorry, hate to break it to you, Mom, but supplements like creatine and protein are not, in fact, drugs. So, the only way that you're gonna be able to find a cheat code, per se, is through injectable androgens, better known as
steroids?
With that being said, if I had 3 supplements that I could take, or that I would take indefinitely, it would have to be creatine monohydrate, which is totally fine. There's other forms of it out there, but they haven't been researched as heavily as creatine monohydrate has been. A protein powder of some sort or some kind of protein supplement, and then some form of energy, whether it's just caffeine on its own or a pre-workout supplement like a carbohydrate. So I would technically classify pre-workout supplements in 2 categories, one being pump products and the other being pre-workout nutrition products. And I take a carbohydrate and a pump product, as well as, well, actually technically 2 pump products if you want to count glycerol in the mix as a pump product as well. Those are not necessary, but they are nice to have, especially if you need some energy. So the caffeine works great for that. And the pre-workout supplements with multiple ingredients definitely have some products or some ingredients in there that can help you with the pump and focus and energy and those kind of things. So, but if that's something that you don't need, for example, if you exercise or work out late at night, 7 or 8 p.m. or something like this, you probably don't want to consume anything that has caffeine, so you can go for a non-stim option if that's something that you're interested in. Of course, I'm going to leave links to these products down below the like button and below the subscribe button for you. You don't have to buy them, and they are affiliate links as well, so I get a small commission from that at no added cost to you. So the first thing on the block here is creatine monohydrate. This is from bulk supplements, and it's something that I take every single day, and I think it's something that you should take as well because there is a lot of research supporting the use of this in sports nutrition. So I think Even if you aren't a competitive athlete, this is 10 out of 10, something that you should take. It also has some benefits for memory for those people with muscular dystrophy, where essentially your brain doesn't make the proper connections with motor units and muscles and things like that. So I'm not a doctor, so I can't recommend that you do that. And I think that generally a 5-gram serving size, which is what is stated here, is good if you are between 150 to 170 pounds. I'm 190, so if you are around that weight, you are probably a-okay to take between 7 and 10. There's no need to do a loading phase because your body will be completely, or your muscles will saturate within a month or so. So just take it at whatever dosage you feel like you need, and then just continue that from, you know, here to the end of time. Next up is some form of carbohydrate. Here we have the BPN G1M Sport. You don't have to get this one. There's many around. I'll show you a couple other ones that I've tried. But I think if you work out first thing in the morning like I do, it's important to have some carbohydrates. This also has some electrolytes in it as well. If you don't happen to eat anything before the gym, now if you have a meal, say an hour to 2 hours before the gym, you're probably gonna be okay. But I'm a crazy person and I work out first thing in the morning, typically at 4 in the morning, and I'm not gonna have a full-fledged carb-loaded meal beforehand, so I take a scoop of that with my pre-workout, which I'll show you next, along with my creatine, and that's pretty much it for my stack, if you will. And lastly, for the pre-workout snack is a pre-workout supplement like Pandemus that I take. I'm trying this. I've tried a few other products. I really like that it has a transparent label, meaning that everything that's actually in this scoop, which is kind of a big scoop, focus, but everything's listed out here by dose. So that's what is referred to as transparent labeling. Unlike other supplements, which I actually have some. For example, Immune supplement has a blend here, 2 blends actually at the top here, and it shows this milligram for all these ingredients in here, as well as down below here it's 2 blends. It doesn't show you what's actually in here, and then below here all these like general ingredients, it'll actually show you what's in there, but they have a proprietary blend, which is not cool. It's a way of companies cutting money, or saving money I should say, and kind of ripping you off, so take that for what you will. Secondly, I like to stack this. It's just liquid glycerol, comes with a pump. Pretty easy to add in to your shaker bottle, and if you've never worked out and tried this stuff, you will get a crazy pump, and it's actually kind of awesome. Realistically, you don't need any of these things for strength and athleticism or whatever, except for, I would say, creatine monohydrate and some form of carbohydrate, and some nice to haves are glycerol liquid form. It's the best. The powdered form is okay, but usually doesn't mix well in your shaker. And for energy and some focus, a dedicated pre-workout supplement. You don't need this. You don't really need this. This you don't need, but there's really no reason to not take it. And this is also something that might help your performance as well. Another carb supplement you can try is something like Super Carb. Pretty much the same stuff. It has some electrolytes plus your dextrin. There's also maltodextrin on its own, but it upsets my stomach, so I don't take that. Another pre-workout that I've tried is Rule by Black Market. Also has a transparent label, stacked with a bunch of ingredients that are for pump and energy and focus and all that stuff. And lastly, post-workout supplementation with whey protein powder. Now there are 3 forms of protein that are derived from dairy, or from milk I should say, and that is casein, which is about 80% of the protein that's in milk, and whey protein, which is about 20%. These are both byproducts of the cheese making process, so they just kind of naturally occur when you make cheese from milk that comes from cows. And whey protein concentrate is about 35 to 50% pure. Whey protein isolate is about 90% or 99% pure whey protein. And Then there's hydrolyzed whey isolate, which is partially broken down or digested with some enzymes. So as far as friendliness to your stomach, whey protein concentrate is not going to be the nicest to your stomach. Whey protein isolate is going to be better, and hydrolyzed whey might be the best for you if you are sensitive to dairy in that regard. But if you don't consume dairy, there's tons of other high quality protein options out there. I just think that if you are on a caloric surplus especially, and you find it harder to hit your target for protein, protein powder is a great thing to add to your overall nutrition. Lastly, I didn't touch on casein, but casein is a slower digesting protein. It's really good for adding it to foods if you're gonna cook or bake with additional protein in there. An isolate like this isn't gonna break down well. It's actually, let me backtrack. An isolate like this is actually gonna break down a little bit in your food when exposed to heat. The protein's fine, it's not denatured in any way. It takes a lot of heat for that to happen, but it's just gonna kind of not taste great, and the texture is gonna be off. So casein will probably work better for you in that regard. And another protein powder that you could try, it's okay, is Isopure. It's just standard protein. It's cheap, it comes from Costco, my favorite place on earth. The ingredients list is a little much, but it gets the job done. It is what it is, guys. It's just protein powder. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Whatever you can afford, whatever you can stomach. Also, I wanted to add, there's no cap to how much protein you can consume in one sitting. You can really consume as much as your stomach will tolerate without your stomach being upset, giving you a whole lot of gas and bloating and all those kinds of things that are never fun. But really the main point is that you consume as much as you need to hit your goals, and it doesn't really matter that much the quality of protein that you consume, so long as obviously it doesn't upset your stomach. It is interesting though, however, how conveniently all these protein products, protein supplements always have a serving size of like 25 to 30 grams per serving. Tinfoil hat, you know what I mean? And same goes for like every other supplement out there. They're always like 30-day supply, like they never give you more than 30. And if they do, it's always like, oh, take, 3 to 6 tablets, capsules per day, or whatever. A couple other supplements that I think are just good to take for general health purposes is a good multivitamin by Real Science Nutrition, CoQ10, because it's good for your heart and for your brain. It's actually a good nootropic supplement as well. It's good to help your brain. It has a synergistic effect with caffeine, so that's just what I've read. Fish oil, another good one, good for cholesterol. And if you are having issues with sleep, and you don't want to go the medical route, you can always try something like this, True REM by Real Science as well, or Animal PM by Animal Supplements. So yeah, those are good additions to have. If you were to take a baseline of supplements, I think creatine, a good multivitamin, and your protein powder is probably like all you really need to take. So if you have any questions, or you want to comment down below what your favorite pre-workout is, or say maybe your first pre-workout that you've ever tried is down below in the comments, let me know. Or just drop your favorite emoji down there just for the engagement. But until next time, y'all, lift something heavy, stay hydrated, and see you next time. Peace. Fuck 'em.